Oh, I do love some of these. How do you help your team improve their sprint review presentation? Well, get rid of it. There you go. Nice and easy. Don't do one. Right? What's the value in a presentation? It makes stuff easier for the consumers. Yeah, that's the idea behind it, is you can present it clearly and concisely about a thing that you want to talk about. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. What does it help with development? What does it help with the developers or the Scrum team as a whole do? Well, nothing. Let's look at it. Right. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take time from the whole team to bring this together, to bring all the information together, probably around what did we think we could do, what did we actually achieve, why is there a difference. Here's maybe goes all the way to here's some screenshots of a product. Right. Here's what we think we're going to do next. This is the next type of sprint goal we're thinking about. This is where the product's heading. Maybe half a dozen slides, something like that. That's not a lot, but somebody's got to create it, and the time they're spent creating that is time they're not working on the product. Instead, look at it differently. How can you demonstrate that? How can you demonstrate what you thought you could do? Well, you have a sprint backlog. There you go, show them it. Log into the tool that you use, whatever it may be, and show them that and say, look, this is everything we thought we could do. The stuff in the done column we actually achieved. And this is why there's a difference. You don't need any prep there. It's there already, that Scrum board, that task board, that Kanban, whatever you call it. So let's get rid of those slides. And definitely let's get rid of the slides that say, and this is what your product looks like. Let's show them the actual product. Bonus points if you can say, do you want to go? Have a play. Let's know what you want to do. Let's have that conversation. So yeah, you might be presenting stuff to everybody, but not presentations. Again, use that tool if you've got it. Get a spreadsheet open, whatever it is, to show where you're going next. It looks like it's going to take us another 8 or 9 sprints to get where we need to for that key date, whatever that key date may be for. Right? And you can have a conversation. Does that work? Here's some reasons why it's there. Annotate a picture. You can stick that in a slide if you want. I personally would rather leave it in the spreadsheet or the tool and point people to it. Because what you can then do at the same time is a little bit of education to your stakeholder group and say, you know what, if you want to know where this is at any time, all you need to do is log into this system, navigate to this place, and it's there. It's updated in real time as we as a team make decisions and do stuff. Okay, so you don't have to wait for the sprint review that comes around every few weeks to have this conversation. If you, as a senior person in this organisation, recognise that we're going off course, you've got access to the information when you need to have it so that you can come and have a conversation with us, likely via the product owner, okay, to help us course correct, to help make sure we are working on the things that are most valuable to our customers, to our organisation. Okay, if you put all of that into a presentation, you lose that opportunity to teach people, where it is by showing them it. Yeah, you can send them a slide deck that explains this is how you log into this, and they'll do what I would do with that email. It will go straight into an archive somewhere and they'll ignore it. Instead, engage them in that conversation, work with them, get them to play with stuff. You don't need a big presentation. You don't need a presentation at all. Work with the actual artifacts you have. Okay? It draws out a better conversation. Some of the downsides that we see time and time again with teams who do spend time, apart from that time taken away from building a thing, from doing what they're paid to do, what they're experts at, is it actually dampens the conversation because there's a pre-agreed structure. And I'm not talking about a high-level agenda to make sure we get to the purpose of our meeting. I mean, people go to way too much detail and say, I'm going to talk about this, then I'm going to talk about that, then I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about that. And that's not an invitation for a conversation. That's an invitation to sit back and listen and get talked at. And people will take it. They're busy. They may want to jump in, but they don't know when to jump in. It's really hard. Whereas if it's more organic and free-flowing, and with time, and it does take a little bit of time in many organisations to get this working, they're going to recognise they have an opportunity to dive in whenever. And you do get people who say, that sounds really interesting, but I'm way more interested in that. Can we jump there? And as a team, you can just go with it. If that's more important to the team, poll the room. Yeah, actually, okay, let's skip that. You're kind of happy with that. Let's go there. Let's have a conversation about what you care about. Right? That way you're going to create a more engaging and more impactful conversation. You're going to be talking about the things the stakeholders and the team itself cares about. And invariably, that's where the important conversations are. Okay? And that way, those stakeholders will want to come back. They've been engaged in a conversation, a meeting of minds, hopefully that stretched them a bit, that's made them think about the impact they have on your product, what they can and can't do with it, what the possibilities are. Right? And that makes them want to come back. That makes them want to be more involved. And that can only be for the good. They turn up as good citizens of your product. Okay? Engage in that conversation, go away and talk about it and think about it, and then come back with more feedback, more ideas. And this is an opportunity we create a virtuous cycle whereby ultimately you will end up with a better product. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.